Great morning, business owners and managers, and welcome to another awesome episode of CX in the Morning, Customer Experience in the Morning. I am your host, Wes Walters, and on every single CX in the Morning, I bless you with customer service tips, customer experience tricks, and I leave you with gems. And by gems, I mean actionable takeaways that you can implement at the speed of now. Immediately after watching this broadcast, you will be able to take what you've learned, applying it to your team and your business, making your team and your business better. You will learn the importance of implementing an awesome customer experience, and that by itself is pretty awesome. I guess I can say I'm a business owner. You guess? I don't know. What do you mean you guess? Are you in business or you're not in business? I'm having a conversation with someone here in IG. How? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. How was the weekend? How was the weekend? Were you open for business on weekend, whether it was Saturday or Sunday? And how did the metrics say that you did? Did you do well? Was it slow? Was it not even worth being open? How was everyone's weekend? And I was watching, I was on Instagram, and one of the influencers that I follow, they said they had a little 30-second clip of most overused words on the internet. And gem was one of those words. I was like, well, listen, partner, gem has been around. I've been using gem since 1997. I'm going to continue to use gem. So I'm sorry, overused or not, we're always going to be dropping gems on this channel. But anyway, let's the juggling begin. Yeah, Miss a brown woman, let me know, what do you mean? You guess you're in business. Either you're making transactions and you're making money from it, or you're not. So, or maybe you're thinking of opening a business. I'm assuming that's what you mean when you say, I guess. But anyway, you're going to enjoy today's show regardless. So today is because today's show comes from an event that happened a situation that happened over the weekend. I went to a restaurant, I guess you would say a restaurant. Yeah, I went to a restaurant. You know, the restaurant, the ones that have the really, really good food. So I went to a restaurant that had the really good food, and the hole in the wall restaurants, and those are the hole in the walls are the ones that normally have the really good food, right? So went there, and the head chef, first of all, no mask on, right? It's COVID. So strike one, no mask on. And real friendly, because it's a smaller restaurant. It's family friendly. Everybody knows everybody, and of course everybody's there because everybody knows it has the best food, right? So he's given daps. First of all, he is app launch, Mr. Justin. Good morning. How are you, sir? So this brother is taking the raw chicken from the cooler that he has the chicken in and putting it on the grill. No problem. If that's all that you're doing, no problem. Because I'm assuming we assume that you're hey, Chocolate Lisa, all the way from Amsterdam. Great morning. How are you? So we're talking about an experience I had over the weekend. And the name of the topic for today is not open for feedback. So again, I'm at one of the hole in the wall restaurants that have the best food, right? And again, the head chef or the head griller is taking chicken from the cooler and putting it on the grill with his empty hand, with his bare hand. No offense yet. If this is all that he's doing, if he's only standing by the cooler, putting it onto the grill, no offense, because I'm assuming, of course, he washed his hands before he started. So no offense so far. But here's where the offense comes in, because this is not all that he was doing. So he's doing that. And walking away from the grill, because you just don't want to stand at the grill. You walk away, you flip them over, and you have another 15 minutes before you check on them again. And as friends, people who are coming in, new people who don't even know that he's grilling, he's giving them daps with his raw chicken hand. I wish I was making this stuff up. So I'm looking. So when he finally comes around to me, like, hey, what's up, Wes? I'm like, whoa, elbow, right? I'm like, he gets the elbow because I don't want to touch this raw chicken on my. So he's going around giving daps and pounds to everyone he encounters. Hey, misunderstood. And I'm like, but one, you're cross-contaminating, your hands are cross-contaminated. Individuals are coming who are driving their cars, who are pumping gas, touch the steering wheel, touch under the doorknob, and now are touching your hand, and you're going back and touching the chicken. So at this point, I'm like, okay. Huge offense, right? And the individuals whose hands he's shaking, they're not even aware that, hey, now you got chicken salmonella on your hand, right? Anyway, it would be bad if it had stopped there. But no, then he walks away from the grill, sees some other gentleman over there that he wants to talk to, and he starts smoking with the same hand that he didn't wash from the chicken. And I couldn't, of course, I'm grossed out at this moment, right? At this point, I'm grossed out. And I'm thinking, why is nobody on his team saying something? Like, why? I think it's like a husband and wife team. And I'm like, why is his wife not saying something? And he has his cousins working as well. I'm like, why is nobody saying something? And and here is why. And this is what I think. The reason nobody was saying anything is because everyone around him is on the payroll. Yes, everyone around him is on the payroll. And this is a something as a business owner, a manager, that you want to take heed to. You want to be sure that you have some individuals that are not around you that are not on the payroll. Like we all know the story about Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, if you look at pictures of Michael Jackson in the Jackson 5, and then you look at pictures of Michael, later on in life, right before he died, totally different person. Whether you want to insert, oh, Michael had a skin disease or whatever. Let's just keep it real and understand that Michael did some plastic surgery for whatever reason, right? And I think a part of that was there was no one around him that said, okay, no more. This is what you used to look like at the beginning. This is what you look like now. There was nobody around Michael that was willing to say, okay, no more, because they felt that if I say no more, I might no longer be on the payroll. So here it is at this same restaurant. Everyone on the payroll, everyone around this chef or this guy who was doing the grilling was on the payroll. Nobody had the gumption or the was brave enough to say, hey, touching chicken, pulling it on the grill, and then giving everyone daps and pounds, and then go smoking a cigarette after is poor. And if the inspectors pull up in here, if an undercover inspector shows up, then he's going to close this business down. But no one around him was willing to say that, because everyone around him was on the clock. Everyone was around him was on the payroll. I was always listening to, I'm a huge Mary J. Blige fan, and Mary J. Blige always would say, I would always keep my sister around me. It doesn't matter how, she literally kept her sister around. It doesn't matter how much money she made, how many Grammys she made, she kept her sister around, because she knew her sister knew her before she had money, and her sister would be unapologetically truthful and honest, whether even if it hurts, like, Mary, this is going to sting right now, but that was wrong, or you messed up, or that's not a good idea. So she always kept, and I think eventually her sister got on the payroll, but I think her sister was like, look, I'm your sister. I know you before you had money. Like, that's wrong. So her sister eventually was on the payroll, but she kept her sister close because she could always depend on her sister, that one person that would keep it real, or as they say, keep it 100 with her. This chef didn't have anyone on his team that was willing or was in a position to be that person for him. All of his team members were willing to watch him touch the chicken with his bare hands. Again, touching the chicken with his bare hands. If he stays at the grill, no offense, because everyone assumed that he washed his hands before he began the day. But touching the chicken and then putting it on the grill is one thing. But then leaving and giving everybody, hey, what's up? And then walking over to the corner and smoking a cigarette and then going back and grabbing more chicken. Man, 3, 4 offenses. And no one on the team was willing to say, hey, there's something wrong with that. Now, it even goes deeper, because here it is. I am a customer. I clearly saw something wrong with that. Clearly saw something wrong with that. I am not on the payroll. And I didn't feel comfortable telling him something about it. And here is why. Because, you know, in the work that I do, I teach, and I'm not just a regular customer, I teach customer service. So I know this something was wrong. But in the work that I do, I've learned to size people up. I've learned to get a feel for people. And everything about his disposition, everything about his aura, everything about who he was said that if you even suggest something was being wrong with that, he is the type of business owner that would say, you can get the heck out of my business if you don't like the way I do business. Sad position to be in. Because he looks at me as just a regular customer, but here it is. I can lace him with a lot of things for free, 99. Hey, sir, these are the things that you can do, that if you just make these simple changes will literally increase the trust, and your customers will be so much more giving and become loyal customers quicker. But everything about this guy said, if you tell him that, his response is going to be, this is my freaking business. I can run it the way I freaking want to. And if you don't like it, you don't ever have to freaking come back. Everything about his disposition said that. That's why I left it alone, because technically it is his business, and I didn't want any smoke, pun intended, from the grill on that day. So I left it alone. But think about how sad of a position he's in. Think about how sad as a position that he's in, because those who know better will not return to that restaurant. Those who know better are going to be like, no freaking way am I going back there. The feedback is vital for your growth. Here is the gem of the day. The feedback is vital for your growth. When Apple releases an iPhone, when Google releases a new Android device, the feedback is what makes the device better. That's why there's a version 1, there's a version 1.2, there's a version 1.3. It's because of the constant feedback from the consumers. They release iPhones and devices prematurely all the time. They don't have time to perfect it. Just put it out into the market and the consumers will tell us what's wrong. Yeah, these phones are not ready, but that doesn't stop the script. Like, you think the phone's not being ready is going to be a reason we're not going to release a phone right before Christmas? You have lost your mind. Ready or not, here we come. Christmas sale, we're releasing the phone whether it's ready or not. And the consumers will let us know what's wrong with it. So the feedback is vital to your growth. if you're a business owner and you shun feedback, if you're not receptive to feedback, your growth is going to be stunned. Great morning, Miss Dorsey. Not sure where you came in, but we're talking about an experience I had over the weekend at a, one of the hole-in-the-wall restaurants. The hole-in-the-wall restaurants have the best food. So went to this hole-in-the-wall restaurant, and the guy who was doing the grilling was not as clean as I would like him to be. And no one on his team was telling him that, hey, this is a bad idea, smoking and then touching the chicken and going to the grill and giving everyone high fives. Bad idea. But no one on the team was willing to tell him that, hey, chef, there's something wrong with that. Even further, again, me as a customer seeing it, I said it was not worth telling him, because everything about his disposition, everything about his aura, everything about the way he looked said, if you go over and tell him that, he's going to say, this is my business, and if you don't like the way I do it, get the hell out. So he's in a very, very, very bad place, because not only his employees or his customers feel that he would be receptive to feedback that will change his business. So he's stuck. You wondering, like, 5 years from now, you go, oh, if he survives 5 years, 2 years from now, like, we're lost. We don't know how we're growing. We don't know why we're not growing. We plateaued and we've been here for 2 years, no growth. Wondering what's the problem. Well, the problem is because no one on your team or your customers feel compelled or feel that you would be receptive to feedback. If you're watching this and you're an existing business owner, you want to always allow your employees to know that, please tell me what you see that I don't see, ways that we can make this bad boy better. And you want to have a disposition that's inviting. You don't want to have a standoffish disposition, because his personality said, if you come at me in my business, and not only, so everything that I got from him was that he was going to start a scene. It wasn't even going to be like, hey, I appreciate the feedback, you can get the hell out of here. No, everything about him said it was going to be something major. Like, how dare you come to my house telling me what to do? You can it was going to be a scene, and I didn't want no problems on Saturday. I was like, look, some people you just got to like pray for them from a distance or just leave them alone. So I wanted to share this story with you guys, because this is going to be a real quick show. I wanted to share the story, one, in knowing that, one, you want to have a team around you where they feel that that it's okay to tell the business owner, the manager, when they're wrong or ways to improve, without being penalized or I might lose my job if I say that. You don't want everyone around you on the clock. If everyone around you is on the payroll, then everyone is going to feel that their responses and their feedback to you is contingent to my raise or my demotion or my termination. You want to have some people around you that are like, look, I've known you since Head Start, and that was messed up, and you should not be doing that, whether you pay me or not. You want to have some people around you that are like that, are going to be, look, this isn't about the payroll. You were wrong, and here is where you were wrong. If everyone around you is afraid to talk because they don't want to mess up their pay, you're in a very bad position. Because here it is, his team players or his customers. Me as a customer, he doesn't even know that I teach customer service. He doesn't know. He sees me as just a regular Joe Blow, which is fine. But even someone like me that is a customer, where he could get free information, free gems, he missed that opportunity because of his standoffish personality. I was like, it's not worth getting into an argument at his establishment. Rightfully so, it is his establishment. So I would be in the wrong. If he blew it up and turned it into a big argument, I would be in the wrong, because there it is. I'm trying to There I am caping for him, putting on my cape, trying to cape for him. And he doesn't want any cape. He doesn't want the caping done. So that's the gem of the day. This is a real short show. Again, surround yourself or have someone, if not two or more, one person on the team that you know without a shadow of a doubt that's going to give you unapologetic feedback. Honest. Even if the feedback hurts, even if it stings, whether that's maybe it might be your spouse, it might be your husband, it might be your wife, it might be your girlfriend, it might be your fiance, but have that one person. Or I have a lot of my Hustle University family, all of my Hustle University family. When I need unapologetic feedback, I just go straight to them because the relationship is so tight. I know they want my best interest. They want the best for me. And it is nothing of it is about jealousy. Nothing about it is that they're envious of me. None of that. Everything that if I reach out to my Hustle University family, I know it is the truth. And you want to create a circle of influence that you can depend on where, hey, I know if I send this person a question, if I ask them a question, they're going to give me the truth. Even if it hurts. Because what consumers see when they see a chef like this is that they say, well, if he's not washing his hands, if he's touching the chicken, putting it on the grill, giving high fives, smoking cigarettes, what does that say? The way you do the small things are the way you do the big things. So if he's doing that with the chicken, what else is he doing with the fish? The way you do the small things are the way you do the big things. The way you do the way you do anything is the way you do everything. If you are raggedy and have lackluster behavior and performance on the small things, chances are that's going to trickle over to the big things, because the small things make the big things. Even on you're dealing with biology, cells make up tissues, tissues make up organs, organs make up systems. So a lot of the times that the problem that you have with the system is because from the cell level. The small things dictate how the big things work. So if you have a problem with washing your hands, this is the basics when it comes to restaurant ownership. So what else are you doing? Where else are you cutting corners? Where else? So that's it, man. I said today was going to be a short show. If you're just tuning in, go back and watch the replay. And this is because, for something that happened over the weekend with me. And, ultimately my goal, man, is I want to see all of us win. I want to see us win, not just make it. I want us to thrive. Like when you tune in on Monday, when I say, how was the weekend of Matrix? You're like, very nice, Wes. Big things popping, Wes. Not, and in order for us to get to that place, the basics have to be in place. The rudimentary scales, like if you have a restaurant, you got to know that, hey, you can't touch the chicken, then smoke, touch the chicken, and then give your homeboy high five. You just can't. Like, this should be automatic, but it's not automatic, unfortunately. So that's it, man. Short show, in and out. But I wish you guys, if you're just tuning in, go back and watch the replay. And Wednesday, I have a great show on Wednesday. Wednesday is going to be comparing what to do when you're number one. Yes. And what happens when you're number one. Something called complacency seeps in, and how customer experience suffers when you're number one. So you definitely don't want to miss on Wednesday. Wednesday's going to be a great show. But hey, man, happy Monday. You guys have an awesome rest of the week. They say the Monday is the microcosm of the week. So you have to come out the gate swinging on Monday. And this is the last week of Black History Month. So make it an amazing week. All right. So see you guys on Wednesday. Love you guys and peace.